You're listening to Back in the Day, Nostalgic Noises.
Stitch and Dean, have you missed us? I'm sure you have. It's been too long. We are here again. Some people have told me that my voice is magnetic. Someone texted in and said, "Who is your counterpart? Who is this Dean? His voice sounds ancient or old style." What do you think of that, Dean? Is that good or bad?
I don't know what to think about any of it, but I will tell you this. Back in the day, school wasn't just about learning. It was like a cross between an extreme sport and a battleground. I'm Dean, and with my friend Stitch, we're revisiting the trenches, remembering the sheer panic of realizing you left your PE kit at home on the kitchen worktop. Ties done so short they looked like hashtags, and the unspoken rule that whoever had the best multicolored pen basically ran the classroom. Grab your scented gel pens, it's time for some 90s education.
Ridiculous times in the school, walking up the steps to the chalet, to your dreaded class you hated, or the teacher who had it in for you. We have got memories galores. What happened in the breaks? How mass were the football matches? And your jumpers and bags? And what colour uniform were you wearing? All coming up. But before we do that, we are going to do claim to fame. Dean, have you got a claim to fame?
Well, I have multiple claims to fames, which we might have to spread these out over a few shows. But one
Right,
of them is that I am, in a way, related to Hollywood actor Woody Harrelson.
right.
Did you know that, Stitch?
I didn't. It's
Would you
breaking
like?
news to me.
Yes. Well, I had an uncle who was in the music industry. He was a drummer, worked with Elton John, Joe Cocker, etc., various others. And in the early 1970s, he went to America to live, and he got together with Lord Harrelson's cousin and produced offspring. And so I have various Harrelson cousins who I'm not in contact with on a regular basis,
No.
but I'm still in contact with one or two.
Claim to fame.
That's mine.
Like,
Yes.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to tell you mine, but if you can guess what it is, you will win 5 minutes free airtime on this show or the show of your choice, the subject of your choice. So stay logged in to the end of the show. The phone lines are open. Guess correctly, and you could be with magnetic voice and ancient voice in the same Zoom room.
For 5 minutes. I wonder how many people thought you were going to say £5,000.
£5,000.
Thousand.
Unbelievable. Dean,
Sorry.
how did you get to school? Did you,
I
don't say you
yes.
got there on a moped, because I hated those boys who did that.
Yeah, so did I. I would never have done that. I I had multiple methods, but my main way, the mainstay, was I would walk to school. For a brief spell, maybe for a year or so, I went on the school bus,
All right.
but my mum and dad were too tight, so I ended up having to walk to school, even though it was miles by the time I got to Broome College. Occasionally, on a really rainy day, I would get a lift to school from my best mate's brother, because
Right.
my best mate, yeah, he lived just a few doors from me. He had older brothers and they had cars, so we'd occasionally be able to blag a lift to school in an old like Triumph Dolomite or a really old like 1980s Cavalier,
Right. Good on you. Yeah.
or occasionally a Volkswagen camper. His dad had a Volkswagen camper that was absolutely hanging, so occasionally we'd go in that. But normally it was school. It was walking to school.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to talk about first. Walking to school, which wasn't bad when I was at Trinity and or Oakfield, because all I had to do is down Marston Lane, Green Lane, and then go up that road, Oakfield Road, I think it was, and then you were there. But when I was in Frome College, I had to walk that distance and then all the way down Catherine Hill, all the way through Frome Town Centre, all back up the other side, Stonebridge, turn right, and then go to the college. It must have taken about 45 minutes. I can't see the
That
kids
is
walk. It was
miles.
I drove it and I thought I used to walk this every day twice. I bet the kids nowadays don't do that. They don't know they're born.
I bet they don't do that. They probably they get lifts to school in their mum's Chelsea tractor.
Yeah,
But yeah, I used to have to walk, from the Warminster side of Frome down into the town centre, up the other side, because Frome is really hilly.
yeah,
Up the other side, and still had about a mile to go
yeah.
after I got to the top of North Parade. Lemon
But
ages.
But did we moan? No, we didn't. Actually, various means of travel. Then I used to, when I moved to Westbury and I stayed at the same school, not to break my education. I used to come in by train, and I think the government paid for me a little bit. And then I don't know what went wrong. I was riding my bike with my tough top on and my fluorescent vest, 7 miles each way in whatever weathers. Then when we struck a deal, and it was like I used to get a taxi, and it was totally paid. I gave all the receipts to a government scheme, and I was paid to go to school in the end
Wow.
because I was out the catchment area.
Wow.
It's all right, isn't it?
How on earth did how did your
Yeah.
parents manage to pull that one out of the
Yeah.
hat?
We love a reduced, you know us, mate. So if there's a free taxi
Yeah,
drive, we are in it. We are in it. Um,
amazing.
how many breaks did we have during the day? Can you remember?
I can't. No. Well, for primary school,
Right.
I really can't remember primary school. All I can remember is lunchtime. We used to call it dinner time back in the
Yeah.
day.
And the bell, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but by the time I got to Frome College, I remember lunchtime, of course, all hanging out, and I don't remember the breaks in the morning and the afternoon.
Right.
I don't know how long the breaks were between. I
I
can't remember how long were the breaks between the lessons, and were the breaks was an extra 10-minute break incorporated in
mm.
that.
I
Sometimes it'd take you the whole break to get from one classroom to another because it was such a big school.
I just remember a few play times, and I don't know whether I'm remembering Trinity or whether I'm remembering the other schools as well, where there was at least 10 minutes and you could run around outside, or it wasn't just toing and froing. The bit I've written down here, though, is our milk breaks, and I'm pretty sure that must have just been Trinity. I don't think we had it in Oakfield, and they used to give us milk in the morning, probably at the break time, and there were different coloured tops. One was red and one was blue, and I wasn't cool, but I never got the cool ones. I think the red tops were the cool ones, and the blue were not. And if you had a blue one, you were out and not trendy. And if you had a red one, you were cool. But I remember sometimes getting the red one and then being told I still wasn't cool, so I could never win.
Ooh, well, that surprises me, to be honest, because I started school, like I said in the last show, in 1976.
Right.
And I remember we had these little bottles of milk given us. We didn't get a choice between red top, blue top, silver
Right.
top. It was all silver top.
Right.
Um, I would have quite happily had gold top myself. And
Yes.
someone was assigned to pop a little straw in each bottle.
Mm.
And but thing is, they stopped it after the first year of school. And I thought that was universal. So I thought that by 1977, 78, I thought that was all done and dusted.
Well,
But
mate.
obviously not, Mr. Stitch. Yeah.
No,
I've
where
got a
you
comment from
go on.
yeah, got a comment from Lisa H. She direct messaged our Instagram page,
Oh, did she? Good
which
on
is
her.
back in yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, back in the day, nostalgic 90s. And she
Yes.
says, I remember we had bottles of milk and I hated it.
Right.
So Lisa didn't like it.
Right.
And I suppose it's subjective, isn't it? If you don't like drinking milk from a bottle, or if you hate it, then fair enough.
Yeah. Well, it's good for your
There's,
bones, though, isn't it? Didn't look at my
yeah,
bones. Look how tall and slim my javelin bones are. Did me a world of
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. How strong are your bones, Lisa?
Yeah.
Imagine if you fall into a huge ditch. Will you break all of your arms and legs? Yeah, it
Uh,
might come back to bite you, Lisa.
which reminds me, I don't know the age of young Lisa, but we have had some real trouble with some of our listeners who are the same age group as ourselves of getting to grips with commenting. I have many same age group members of our fan base asking us how to do it. We have done a specific video to try and help you, but we've realized, Dean, that we really are not technologically advanced, those ones of our similar age group. So it's been a struggle trying to get them to catch up. Spotify, what's that? Podcasts, never heard of them. We've had all sorts,
Not great with tech. Well, that is very 1990s, isn't
isn't
it?
it? Yeah, that shows you are from that era. One of the things which I did like about lunch football school was the mass footy matches. Oakfield, I can remember quite vividly, using the whole playground and everyone playing in the match. Do you remember those days?
Yes. Yeah. Not so much at middle school, but more
Right,
so at Frome College.
right.
Yeah, Frome College there would be mass football matches. No, not even any picking sides.
No.
It'd be gangs against gangs
Yeah,
or third years against fourth years.
yeah.
Yeah. It sometimes end up in a mass brawl,
Wow.
but it was, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
right. I
was,
do remember those days and the tennis courts as well.
yeah.
That used to be where a lot of the footy matches took place.
Yeah. Well, I remember Oakfield was the mass football matches, and I was a goalkeeper and always used to get it in the head or the groin and have to go and recuperate. Or I was standing there and the ball never came my way. They were always playing in the other goal because our defense was so good. But yeah, when we went to the college, then there was grass which you could play on, but we always used to fight about the courts, the tennis courts, wasn't it? But they had little football courts there, little goals.
Yeah, the tennis courts were close to. Do you remember the sixth form block at
Yeah,
Frome College?
yeah.
Yeah, so that used to be where the first aid was because whenever I got injured, I used to end up in first aid in the sixth
Mm,
form block,
mm.
people were throwing stones and I took one to the head, and that was where some of our big football matches took place. And I do remember there being a huge range of skill levels because you have the
Yeah.
absolute, you have the absolute Messi's,
Mm.
Messi and Ronaldo's who are going to dribble it past everyone. And then
Yes.
you have the normals who could sort of, they just about hold it together, kick the ball around and score a goal or two. And you have the absolute, you know, no hopers like me,
Hoopers. Yeah.
just, occasionally pull a shot out of the bag, but normally a lot of us would just run away from the ball. And then you have the absolute Neanderthals we just
Straight
met one
right.
bloke and yeah, he just ran up to the ball and kicked it so hard the ball exploded. So that was the end of the game. So it was all
Oh,
going on. Yeah, so it was just
uh,
mayhem,
hold,
anarchy.
hold on to your braces. After the advert, we will find out who had telepathy. We're on Stitch's team. Do you have a VPN? Do you need a VPN? You can go onto any network or app and try and find one yourself. We don't have one. We do use one, but we can't tell you which one we use. We're not being sponsored. And anyway, all the adverts are not always reliable. Sometimes they don't connect for ages and cost a bomb. So there you go. There you have it.
You're listening to Back in the Day Nostalgic 90s. We're available on Spotify, Apple Podchaser, and YouTube. Please like, comment, tell your mates. And also, we have an Instagram page, Back in the Day Nostalgic 90s, not 90. Actually, spell the word 90s if you can. And you can give us your DMs, you can send us photographs, and we will upload them to the page. Back to the show.
DMs, aren't they Dr. Martens? Did you ever wear them to school?
I did not know. We weren't allowed then. I
No.
had a school grant, £6 a year to buy school shoes. I couldn't afford Dr. Martens off that.
No. Anyway, Tamaris, friend of the pod, last show said, what about things we couldn't get away with? I asked for clarification, and she said, like you can't forget your homework or say your dog ate it because everything is submitted online nowadays. So no getting away with excuses. Playing knockdown ginger, ringing doorbells and running away. That's not very
Yes.
hospitable, is it? Giving someone giving someone a fake number because they ring you on the spot and they check if your mobile rings. Because beforehand you didn't have a mobile phone, so when they got home and then rang you and found it was fake, it was too late. Or got lost or being late because you couldn't share your location or they couldn't show their location. All great ideas tomorrow, so we will incorporate them, seeing you are a friend of the show.
Good clarification there, Tamaris.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't quite understand the original
No.
message. I was thinking, perhaps more heavy duty things that you could go
Yes.
to prison for.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
it's good. A bit more light-hearted stuff.
Any more comments on Spotify? Because we are pushing the Spotify. I did remind listeners that Apple, we are not seeing your comments. So please do Spotify or email or Instagram.
Yeah. Even if you've got an iPhone, you can still download Spotify, can't you? And listen that way.
Yeah, come on. Even if you are over
Yeah,
40.
get on with it. So we got some comments. Now this is on the episode you had to be there, or did you?
Right.
Yeah, and this is yeah, that's right. I'm with it now. Naomi Cameron. She says enjoyed that with your mate. Full contact gave us both a chuckle.
Oh, full contact is her husband. That's what we call him, but it's not his real name.
Ah, right,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. I was wondering what was going on there actually.
He likes full
Right.
contact rugby. That's what it is.
Yes, I'm with you. That's a bit less worrying.
Yeah.
Gary says, happy memories of my Goodman sound system in my motor, blasting out my tunes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got Craig and Natasha 92. Very 90s. Craig and Natasha Smith here. We remember while visiting Mark, you took us to Regent's Park Open Air Theatre in your car, which was a Sierra on a Y plate. Never forgot that car. Well, I don't
Right.
remember that car.
No, she's talking to the Morehouse. She's replying.
Ah,
Me.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So
what
they,
should have come first was the
yeah.
comment from Morehouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Friend of a show, by the way. We
Yeah.
want more voice notes from Dawn, don't we?
Yeah.
So what happened there? Yeah, Morehouse.
Dawn had
Sorry for that
crashed her
car.
car. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Sorry for that car, Dawn, and the guys I whacked into with it down a windy, narrow lane. To the reader, I married her. Oh, see, so that's Dawn's husband.
Right. Yeah. So
Yes.
we were left up in the air about who had claimed the accident. We didn't know whether it was brother, mother, sister, or granny. And now we know it's boyfriend, but now husband.
Very good. So there's all your messages, not necessarily in the right order from Spotify.
But I tell you what it does do. We had skyrocketing figures listening to show number 5 because we had interaction on Spotify. If you write us a comment, please, 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 and someone else responds to it, it excites the algorithms, whatever they are, and more people tune into us. So we had more people listening in a day on show 5 than we had in 10 days on show 4. So please comment.
That's right, listeners. It's all about the algorithms.
Yeah. Right. Back to the show. Andrew Thorne was my telepathic friend when we played in the tennis courts, because you had to get down to the tennis courts and collect your goal. You didn't normally have 2 goals. You normally had to play in 1 goal. And you played with those small little Nike or Puma balls. Do you remember them? The mini ones.
Oh, yes.
They weren't the big ones because they didn't really fit in that court. Me and Andrew used to, one of those things where you never looked, but you passed it and he headed it and then volleyed it. And we did it so many times. There was this understanding where I knew who he was going to be. And invariably, it was me with the cross, him with the goal, because he was more of a striker, I was more of a winger. There you go. That's what you had to wait for while the advert was going on. Any stories about footy, Dean?
Stories about footy. Oh, yeah. Not so much during break times for mass football events. They were an event, actually, weren't they, more than a
Yeah.
game? But yeah, during PE lessons, we just have football matches a lot of the time because it was easier for the PE teacher just to referee a match and actually teach us something and train us. So we just have football matches. And I'd normally play in defence, but just once I somehow ended up storming up front and going for a 50-50 with the keeper, beating the keeper. Just the, just the, it was just the goal in front of me. I've beaten
Right.
everyone else,
Yes.
and it was just a tap in needed. All I needed to do was tap it into the net. But I thought, no, I'm not just going to tap it in. I'm going to put my laces through it. I'm going to break the net just to rub their noses on it. And I just skied it straight over the crossbar.
No way.
And I was so mortified. I wanted to set myself on fire.
That is one of the worst sins you could commit in school at the break time in the tennis courts, missing an open goal.
Yeah. Well, this was during PE.
Oh, this is even worse because you're all
This
there.
was a proper,
This is proper
yeah, this was
match.
in a proper game. Yeah, proper
Match.
match.
Yeah. Superb. Well, boys and girls, we are overrunning our time again. We'll have to put a few more pennies in the meter. Welcome to Congo and Japan. They are now the 14th and 15th countries which are following this broadcast. And remember, we don't want just to hear about English school. Tell us about Japanese or Congo school. Tell us your stories. It's time for what am I going to go for now? A Bailey's and a slice of ham. Does that go?
I think you can make that fit.
All right.
But but for now, it's class dismissed. If you enjoyed that, tell your mates. If not, just blame the supply teacher.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. Please download, comment, and tell a friend.